Welcome to Flyhorse Radio, the worst radio station in the world. I'm Norman Bass. My man D. Ellis is not here right now. He's actually being a full-time dad, so shout out to D. Ellis.
Shout out to all the dads doing their job. I
Facts.
salute you.
I'm here with the homie Fat Tony.
What's good?
How you living?
I'm living good, man. I'm fresh from Los Angeles, in Texas for the weekend.
So you
Played
moved to LA?
Houston last night and playing Austin tonight. Yeah, I live in LA. I've been living there for like a little over a year now.
How's that going?
It's kind of interesting because it's the first place I ever moved to out of my parents' house like 6 years ago.
Facts.
I lived there and I made my albums Double Dragon and Smart Ass Black Boy. And I didn't like it as much when I lived there back then. I was much younger. I was like 23 when I first moved to LA. And now that I'm a bit older, I can kind of get with how it's a bit chill and slow paced. At first, it really got on my nerves that everybody was so laid back and jolly.
Yeah.
But now it's chill, man, and it's super productive. I'm doing a lot of interesting shit out there.
How's the traffic there, though?
Traffic's fucked up. Probably just as bad as it is here in Austin, Texas, which is
Austin's terrible.
slowly becoming the most aggressively
Becoming the new
aggravating
LA.
traffic town in America.
It's on some new LA type shit almost.
I would say it's worse than LA because you just got this like one shit, this I-35.
Yeah.
You know, it's every time I come here, it's hella traffic and it gives me a fucking headache.
Yeah, definitely. You drank?
Alcohol, yeah.
There you go, brother.
What is that?
That is a shot of tequila and a
I
Lone
love
Star.
tequila.
To all my Texas people that's not in Texas, Lone Star is a Texas drink that you guys probably never heard of before.
Damn, I feel like I'm on Drink Champs fucking with Noriega right now. Dude, y'all niggas get drunk on this show or what?
Yeah, we always get drunk.
Cheers, man. It's good to see you, Norman.
Good to see you too, baby. So right now we're at Sidewinder.
Yeah, baby.
What time do you go on?
I go on at 11:40 p.m.
Okay.
So Saturday night's kind of a late show, you know?
That's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
It's an
And
amazing show tonight. I'm playing with this band, Mammoth Grinder. Their drummer, Chris, who also plays in Power Trip. I've
Yeah.
known him for hella years. We were involved in like the Houston music scene back when we were in high school, and we were buddies back then, and it's amazing like see us still at it doing our motherfucking thing.
So that puts me on my first question. The rumor is that you started on, I don't know which one, either punk rock or hardcore music.
Oh yeah, I was a big punker. Like I always had an interest in hardcore, but I can't claim I was like a hardcore kid. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like I didn't play in hardcore bands. The kind of band I played in was like closer to pop punk, if anything. But I grew up being heavily into punk, especially 70s punk, 80s punk, a lot of classic shit like Bad Brains and Black Flag, Suicide, Television, Ramones. You know, I really love that like New York 70s era punk
Shout
a
out New
lot,
York.
and I love a lot of the second wave of punk that came from Los Angeles, like Black Flag and X
Yeah.
and the Germs, some of my favorite groups right there. And you know, I always loved music growing up. I was heavily into hip hop, but really from punk music is where I got the balls to start putting on my own shows, recording my own music, and kind of taking myself seriously as a musician.
So what instrument did you play?
I was a bass player.
Okay, you know the bass players always get the ladies.
I mean, you know, that's
Shout out to
neither
all the
here
bass
nor there, but
players.
you know.
So
But yeah,
what?
back in the day, man, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't get a whole bunch of pussy off making music back as a legal teenager.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of came later in my life.
That's the glow up though.
But you know, I did make a lot of friends, and really, there's so many friends that I made from my first experiences making music that I still rock with today. There's this rapper that's from LA. He lives in Mexico City, and his name is Speak.
Yeah.
I met him on MySpace in like '05, and we were chatting today.
Shout out
just
to the
being
MySpace
like,
heads.
Just being like, bro, I can't believe that we met on MySpace, living in totally different states, talking about making music, and we've grown to be friends. Like I booked him in like '09. He came to stay with my parents. The first time I went to California, he picked me up and took me around.
That's music.
You know,
That's
it's
a beautiful
crazy.
thing.
Like when you share a passion with somebody, I think you bond with them in ways that you don't get from just going to school with somebody or being a coworker with somebody. To like bond over something that you both chose to put your heart and your time into. It really means a lot, and that shit can last the test of time. And it's happened with me time and time again. Even tonight with my man Chris and Mammoth Grinder, you know, another nigga that I know from when I was like 15, 16, and we still cool doing what we were doing back then in like ways that we talked about. We like talked about like, yo, wouldn't it be crazy to play a show? I was in a rap group back then too. He was playing punk back then. He's like, damn, what if we had our own gig, and now niggas doing it, and it's about to be a sold out concert. That's
a beautiful thing. Like I said, we're at a bar right now, so if you hear a lot of noises and shit like that, we're just at a bar.
Yo, I went to high school where Illinois.
Fat Tony's out here flexing. He's got a bunch of fans and shit. We're in Austin, Texas.
Yo,
my man just got here from LA. Damn.
She was there when niggas were talking about doing shit like this. So
that's what's up. So what how did you switch? How did you switch from, can I say, the rock scene?
Sure.
From the rock scene to the hip hop scene.
Well, back in the day, it was all the same to me. Like when I would put on shows.
It is hand to hand though. Facts.
When I would put on shows, like first of all, how I first got into doing music publicly, I was like a show promoter.
Yeah.
I would book bands at my school, bands from different schools, and it's like put on concerts at this little venue called Super Happy Funland. It was like a DIY, like performance art space. Sorry.
Yeah.
And I would always mix it up. Like even back then, I had punk bands, rappers, ska bands, reggae bands, you know, just any type of shit that I was into. I thought that it'd be smart to mix it up because I want different people to come and meet each other. Like one of the blessings in my life is I've been allowed to meet all kind of people from an early age. Like when I went to high school, that was my first time going to a school that was like really diverse. Like the school was still near my house where I grew up, but it was like a gifted and talented school. So kids from all over the city came there. White kids, Jewish kids, Latino kids, Asian kids, openly gay kids, rocker kids, techno kids. And I was friends with all of them. And it really opened my eyes to all the shit that we all have in common and just how much cool stuff is out there when you look past the barriers that are set up to divide us. You feel me?
But what switched you to do the hip-hop thing, though?
I was doing it all at the same time.
Okay. So you was into everything.
Like it wasn't like I was in a rock band and I was like, nah, fuck this, I'm going to just do rap music. I did it all at the same time. And throughout my career, I've continued to play all kinds of music. I've been in a band as recently as like 2012. I want to say the last time I was in a band I was like taking seriously.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just, you know, music's music. You know, I'm the kind of person that gets bored easily, so that's why I like to stay on my toes and have different projects. You know, even outside of music, I do shit like my magazine, Found Me, which is a magazine that I do with me and my boy Matthew Ramirez. He's a full-time journalist. We got a grant from the Andy Warhol Foundation via the Idea Fund to make our first issue, which came out last year. And it's just a magazine that chronicles people of color that we love from all over the country.
Yeah.
Started off with just Houston people, trying to focus on like people that don't really get written up or don't have like public figure attached to their Instagram name.
Yeah.
And like giving them a platform, and now it's kind of growing into something where we want to cover people that we meet from everywhere, people of color who are interesting, who are marginalized.
So you out here grinding for real. I know it's a cliche question, and a lot of people might ask you the same question. What part of Houston you from?
Man, it's never a cliche because I love where I'm from. I'm from 3rd Ward, Houston. And I always say that I identify with being from 3rd Ward more than I identify with being a Houstonian or being a Texan. That's my real home.
I feel you. Who did you grow up to as far as the rap thing? Who was one of the first rappers that you heard that actually blew your mind and was like, yo, this shit is lit?
Well, the first CD I ever bought was Criss Cross, Totally Crossed Out.
Oh, shit.
I bought that shit. I'm showing my age. I'm 29. I bought that CD in 96, years after it was popular, and I bought it because they were the only kid rappers that I saw in the music store.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, these guys are close to my age, and I jammed the fuck out that CD, and I was like, yo, that was actually the first time that I thought, damn, maybe I can be a rapper, because I always had an interest in music, but I never saw children doing it, and seeing that had me like, whoa.
I feel you.
damn, I just seen my ex across from the bar. Ain't this some
That's
shit?
that's a beautiful thing.
I did not know. Damn. Anyway.
Anything can happen.
So yeah, and I also love this group, the Beastie Boys, growing up.
Yeah, definitely.
I love them because they were openly like, yo, we're some rappers, we're into punk music, we're into basketball, we're into skateboarding, and those are all things that I was fond of. So I was just like, damn, like.
I always loved the Beastie Boys. Really, I liked the Beastie Boys, and that's why I liked the Cool Kids a lot, because they reminded me of the Beastie Boys.
Same, bro. But yeah, also, man, to like go a little further down the line to get to when I really started loving music and wanted to make music for real. Some of the artists that really inspired me, Nas really inspired the fuck out of me.
That's
I remember
That's my favorite rapper.
when the Godson album came out, I was already a Nas fan. The first Nas album I bought was Stillmatic, right? And I loved it. Then Godson came out, I bought that. And this girl in my class, she was pissed off one day. She was like, yo, my parents bought me this old Nas album when I wanted the Godson album.
Yeah.
And her parents had bought her Illmatic because it was cheaper, right?
That's a litty.
And
Classic
she
shit.
had no idea what the album was. She just knew that it wasn't the one with like the new Nas hit song.
Yeah.
So I was like, yo, I'll buy that CD from you right now. She sold me Illmatic for $3, changed my life.
That's beautiful. Who's your favorite Houston rapper, though?
Houston, man, I love this artist named Fat Pat. You know, that's
Fat Pat.
really
R.I.P.
why
Fat Pat.
That's really why I go by Fat Tony, because I come from a city where like there was a Fat Pat, a Big Mo, a Big Hawk. You know, putting fat or big in your name was like a way to honor yourself. It was like a status symbol.
Yeah.
And naming myself Fat Tony in an era where there's no artist really coming out saying that they're fat anything. It's just my way of honoring where I come from and the legacy of my city.
I'm not going to front. I did not know about Fat Pat until I moved to Austin. But my favorite Houston rapper that I knew of when I lived in New York was Scarface. I like Scarface a lot.
Love Scarface. He's amazing.
Yes.
Amazing songwriter. And I recommend anybody out there that loves Face, go get his autobiography.
Yeah. I think
it's incredible.
I think he's the only rapper to do a track with Tupac, Biggie, and I think did he do something with Eazy-E, or am I wrong?
I don't think he did music with Eazy-E, but he's definitely one of the few rappers to say they did music
with Tupac and Biggie.
Tupac and Biggie. Another artist that can say that are Bone Thugs.
Yeah, Bone Thugs. But they did it with all three of them, right?
Yeah.
So, who's your favorite? Do you think Migos is the best rap group?
I mean, I think the Migos.
No controversy.
Are the shit.
We love Migos. Don't get me wrong.
I'm a day one Migos fan.
Facts.
I'm a day one Migos fan from like right around when like Bando was popping, and that Young Rich Niggas album came out.
Yeah.
When Offset was still locked up.
Yeah.
I played the fuck out of that tape.
Yeah, that shit did go hard.
I was actually living in Brooklyn when that tape came out.
Shout out Brooklyn.
Summer of 2013.
Yeah.
We wore the Migos album out, but nah,
Who's your
man,
favorite group?
I can't say that Migos are the best group of all time.
Who would you say?
At least not my favorite group. My favorite groups of all time, if we're gonna count duos, I have to say that my favorite group is UGK.
UGK.
As far as groups go, man, I love Goody Mob.
Well, just saying, as not your favorite, but as the best. Who would you see as the best group ever?
If I had to say who's the best group ever, I'd probably say Public Enemy. Because they had their own sound, their own style of vocal delivery, their own look. Like going into a Public Enemy album or a Public Enemy concert means you about to transport into a whole new world. They was in a whole world that made them stand apart from all the Def Jam artists and all the hip hop artists out there. To this day, I think that they're incredible. It Takes a Nation of Millions. What a fucking album.
Well, I'm going to blow your mind on this. I feel like the Migos are like the Jackson 5. Uh-huh. They are the best group ever.
Why?
Because I feel like all these young niggas want to dress like them.
Yeah.
A lot of niggas rap like them.
Yeah, they changed the game.
They're bigger than rap now. They're pop culture.
Yeah.
And I feel like no other like rap group have ever did that. I would say Batters Up to be the best group ever. And I'm saying
Batters
this.
Up? Talking about Nelly and the St. Lunatics?
No.
I'm about to say, because Cause you know what? If you came out and said the Saint Lunatics were the best rap group of all time, I would not be mad at you.
They
I would
did.
not be mad at
They
you,
did
pimp.
wear 2 headbands, my nigga. First group to wear 2 headbands. But I would say it would either be Bone Thugs and Harmony or Wu-Tang Clan.
Oh yeah, I love the Wu-Tang.
I would say Wu-Tang Clan, though, is the most talented group because they had the most people that blew up out of the group. And that's why I compared the Migos to the Jackson 5, because the Jackson 5 wasn't the most talented group, if you want to be real. They only had Michael Jackson. And what was the group that Bobby Brown was in back in the day?
New Edition.
New Edition had the most talent. All five of them did something by themselves. You feel what I'm saying?
You know, but even like Jackson 5, like, I got to stop you there because I think some of the
Jermaine?
other Jacksons and niggas
You
were
fucking
tight.
with Jermaine?
That nigga Jermaine was lit. Yo, once I swear on everything I love. 2012, I'm in LA. My first time living there. I'm in traffic. I look over. It's Jermaine Jackson
Did
in
he
the
have
car
that,
next
that
to me.
black shit?
That
thing on
nigga
his
had
head?
that perm that he's known for. That hard ass perm that looked like if you touch
Shout
it,
out
it would feel like a
Jermaine's
brick.
perm.
That nigga rolled the window down, waved at me. I said, "God damn, Jermaine, I love you, bro."
Yeah.
I love the Jacksons, man. Come on, what a family.
Yeah. A freaky family, but definitely a family.
Isn't every family a little freaky if you break
Not
it down?
like that family,
They just
man.
had their secrets out in the public. But you
That's a different kind of family. But shout out to them and the Addams family. They what made you say I could do this rap shit and actually do it? What was the first thing that was like, yo, I could do this?
My first time performing was at my high school talent show.
Yeah.
And me and my buddies made these 2 songs. One was over a Mobb Deep song called Win or Lose. Alchemist made the beat.
That's a classic one.
R.I.P. Prodigy. One of my favorite artists right there.
R.I.P.
And the other beat was over a T.I. song from the Urban Legend album. And during this show, our DJ's equipment had a malfunction. And my friends on stage are like panicking. They're like getting mad. And I just got, quick on my toes. And I started doing a freestyle, shouting out all the different classes. Class of 06, class of 05, class of 04, class of 07, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I kind of saved the day. And I totally did that off my instinct and helped us from just looking like some frustrated kids on stage to actually looking like we have some talent. And after doing that, rising to the occasion, without knowing that I had to do that or having it prepared, I was like, damn, maybe I can do this more often.
What was your first show? What did it look like? How did it feel?
My first show,
other than the talent show.
My first show was at the venue Super Happy Funland in Houston, where I booked a lot of my gigs. And by this point, I had put on maybe like 4 or 5 shows before I decided to put on my own show.
Yeah.
And it was cool. It was like, I don't remember much of it. I just really remember having my like adrenaline through the freaking roof and just getting up there, having been super duper rehearsed because I was so nervous I had to really practice. And just getting out there, doing my thing, and then getting off and just getting like love. Like, it's crazy. There's this artist from Houston that goes by Without a Face, and he was there at my very first show. And I used to perform this song called Buy My Shit to like help sell my CDs.
Yeah.
And I remember when I played that song in my first show, he gave me a $5 bill. And this motherfucker was at my show in Houston last night. And that shit was like 13 years ago I played that first show.
That's a beautiful
thing. And he always pulls up and is like, yo, I'm literally your day one fan.
Facts. Shout out to the day one fan.
Shout out to Without a Face. Great artist from Houston, Texas, man. Much love.
So what made you make the song about Whataburger?
Just because I wanted to rep for my hometown. Every chance I get, I want to rep for my city. People always say that my music doesn't sound like Houston music because I don't rap over the kind of beats that like Slim Thug used to or Mike Jones used to.
You're different.
But I try to rep for my city in my references and in my slang and my content. And I felt like Whataburger is such an integral part of Texas.
It is.
Especially my upbringing. When I found out that Fat Pat was was murdered, my mom picked me up from school and she took me to Whataburger and she was like, yo, this rapper that you like died. I know you're probably gonna hate to hear that news, so I'm taking you to Whataburger to like cheer you up.
Shout out to the mom.
That's like one of my first memories of going to like a Whataburger and like receiving it as like a gift or like a blessing.
Yeah.
And I kind of have this theory about fast food that is something that like brings together every class of people. I saw this picture of this like paparazzi photo of Kanye West at the McDonald's drive-thru in like a Lambo or something, and it really spoke to me because I'm like, damn, this rich-ass dude is still eating the same food that quote-unquote poor people eat, you know? Fast food is something that we all have the access to, that we all come back to at some point throughout our entire lives.
And Whataburger is the best fast food spot ever.
And Whataburger is the best fast food
Nobody's
spot.
fucking with Whataburger. If you have not been to Texas, when you do come to Texas, make sure you get some Whataburger.
Yeah.
I used to call it Waterburger when I first moved here.
Me too. For like years as like a kid, I like called it Whataburger. Then I got like the kids meal, the little coloring thing, and I started written out, and I was like, Whataburger? I didn't know that.
Yeah, facts. I used to call it Waterburger all the time, my nigga. All the time. Shout out Whataburger.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm kind of drizzy right now because it took a minute for you to come over here, so I've been kind of fucked up. But what made you start doing shows in Mexico?
Well, I went to Mexico to play this festival called Normal in 2015.
Yeah.
And I just loved the city. I thought it was beautiful. It reminded me of like a New York. It was huge and urban and old. And I just really loved the vibe of it.
Afro-Latinos out there?
Yeah, but not really in Mexico City. They're more on like the coast of like Mexico.
Shout out my Afro-Latinos.
Yeah, big shout out. Especially my Afro-Mexicanos, you dig?
Facts.
And I just really felt at home there. I really felt in touch with like the history there, and I felt in touch with that city's love for the arts. Like over the years, over decades, artists from all over the world have come there to create, from like writers to painters to all kinds of people. And I kind of felt like there needed to be a second coming of that. And I started to notice that the people booking me on my second and third time playing there, they had a love for hip-hop, but didn't have the access to the network I did for like artists and booking agents. So I decided to start my own party. It's called Function. It ran for 6 months in 2016, and I brought artists from the U.S. and from Canada down to Mexico City. I had a mixed bill every time, so the lineup featured a foreigner and a local Mexican artist too. And I just want to put on just like a party that was free entry, that allowed all the hip hop fans to in Mexico City to come meet in one spot.
It's a beautiful thing.
Unlike other parts of Mexico, hip hop isn't super popular in Mexico City yet. At least it wasn't when I first started doing my parties there. Now it's a little bigger.
Yeah. But
I just felt like it'd be a crime for there not to be a space for hip-hop fans to come meet and come talk about shit. Like one of my first Function events there, I had a doorman come up to me during my sound check and was like, man, I hear you playing some rap music. Yo, I love hip-hop. I love the music. I can kind of break dance. I love graffiti. I love everything about the culture, but none of my friends like it. I have no one to really talk to about it. And I looked at that guy and I was like, man, I need everyone like you in this city to pull up to my party.
Yo, if you're an underground artist and you hear this is a guy that's from Texas, started out in the 3rd Ward, and is moving so much that he's doing shows in Mexico. And this is all off of him, independent money. He's doing his thing. So you should take notes, man, that if anybody ever tells you that you can't do something, listen to this man, Fat Tony. He's doing it. Not saying that you need to follow what he's doing, but keep your dreams alive. Keep everything alive, because this man's doing it, man. If you had to tell any local artist, because a lot of local artists look up to you, they might hate on you, but low-key, the hate be so much because they don't know how to talk to you. They don't know how to say, yo, my nigga, I love what you're doing. Could you drop some knowledge for an artist that's trying to come up? Not what to do, but how to move a little bit.
I just think that you got to be bold, be honest, and be genuine in your actions. The only way that I get people to work with me is just by pulling up and not feel like I'm selling myself to them. When I did that, when I started those parties in Mexico, I had to go to brands to get sponsorship money to make it happen.
And you got sponsor. You got a little right. You was on Vice, right?
Yeah. But,
shout out Vice, though.
But like Vice had nothing to do with my parties.
Yeah, but your grind too, and your grind too.
Yeah.
Not trying to shit on your grind.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I just think that you got to be genuine in your actions. People can like smell it when you're selling yourself too hard and you're just cold calling people, and your first way of communicating with somebody is, hey, let's work. There are steps that it takes to get the right kind of work done. And if you approach somebody just with the attitude of, hey, let's work, and they're a serious person that's professional and busy, that's going to be off-putting to them. It's the same as when you get a random call from like a telemarketer trying to sell you some bullshit that you don't really want. So I think it's important to make sure that your relationships start from a genuine place. Try to link with people not just because of what they've done or how tight they are. See if you have stuff in common, like similar interests, similar values, and really build with them. All the people that I've done everything with are people that I approach because I was a fan of their shit, or I liked their outfit, or I just like something about them that was outside of their work. Yeah. That made me feel like, yo, we're kind of from the same tribe. And those are people that I always have the most success with. Those are people that I'm able to do the most with because it's coming from an honest place. And I think if you function as just a businessman all the time, dealing with art, you'll never win to your full potential.
One other thing, a lot of people don't know this low key, and we're gonna get this out there. How the fuck did you get on A$AP Rocky's first mixtape, right?
Yeah. So I got on that all because of Yams, RP.
What track
Yams.
was that?
Get Lit.
Get Lit. This is I'm gonna expose everything. This is A$AP Rocky's Houston cousin right here. This is him. It's Fat Tony.
Yeah, that's my guy.
I'm exposing it.
It's my nigga. Fucking Rocky, man.
If
Rocky
you didn't
cool.
know, it's Fat Tony. So how did you, RP Yams? Yams is the one that hooked it up?
Yams the one. I was friends with Yams off the internet, and it just so happened Rocky was recording his first tape.
You grinding
at
on the internet,
studio
too. Shout out the internet.
Shout out the internet, World Wide Web, baby.
Facts.
You know, Yams is kind of like those people that I met on like MySpace back in the day. He's a guy that I met online that just had similar tastes in music, and I would keep in touch with him. You know, I didn't really know him, but I would follow his like Tumblr. We like DM sometimes, like talking about music shit, as being like, yo, we love this like Houston rapper, or we love this Bay Area rapper, or Max B or whatever.
Yeah.
And so anyway, to make a long story short, Rocky was recording his project at Daniel Linus' studio, which is where I recorded my music, and Das Racist recorded their music.
Shout out Das
and
Racist.
A bunch of folks in our friend group recorded. And Yams messaged me and said, hey, I have this artist I'm working with, Rocky. We love Houston music. I'd love for you to come to our session, come and check us out, and just see what we up to. We're recording at your friend Daniel Linus' studio. Pull up. So I pulled up. They were mad cool. They blew my mind of how much they love Houston music. That night, they recorded Peso. I like shouted on like the background vocals. I'm pretty sure Daniel Linus sang the hook on that song. And we made the Get Lit song. And like we're all drinking, smoking, chilling. And Yam just like, yo, go and talk some like Houston shit on it like you would on like a screw tape. So that's what we did. And I think that album's really, really important because it changed the lives for a lot of people. A lot of folks on that tape got a lot of big looks after that tape, from myself to Main Attractions to Schoolboy Q to Clams Casino.
Yeah.
That tape really changed the game for a lot of artists, and I think opened up a new lane for underground rap music that we still see running shit today.
You need to pop up for Yams Day, man. You deserve that.
Yeah, man.
You need to pop up.
Man, I got to pull up. The last time I saw Rocky was last South by Southwest.
Yeah.
He rented a house out here, and it was like me, him, Yachty, Danny Brown, Ian Connor. And it was like, and Daniel Linus too. Heems from Das Races was with us.
Yeah.
And it was like the first time that me, Heems, Rocky, and Linus had like really been around each other since like Yams died.
Yeah.
Like we had all seen each other just like around the country since Yams died. But the first time that all of us who all met Rocky through fucking Yams were in like the same room, and we were just like wowed by it.
Well, the show's about to start, so we're going to get the fuck up out of here. You got anything to say, Fat Tony?
Much love to everybody out there. All local artists, don't hate on your fellow man. Big up your local brother and sister and work with them. And by work, I don't mean just ask them for features and just like collaborate. Build with them, chop it up with them, go to dinner with them, have coffee with them, have a smoke with them, drink with them. Like, more artists need to build like this and just chat, because it's really through these conversations that we grow more so than dropping a song on like SoundCloud featuring the next man. Really build, link up, fucking believe in what you do, and be honest and be genuine. Don't go out there moving like a salesman, because that's not what we do. We make real art.
Facts. So this is Flyhorses Radio, the worst radio station in the world. We signing off. Peace.
Peace.
I want to make sure we're on the same page tonight. We're coming with a lot of good energy tonight. Big shout out to Mammoth Grinder for having me in here. But most importantly, shout out to my man Dustin for putting this show on. What's up, Austin? Took a look inside myself to figure out what I'm about when I think not the grass is green, but it ain't always what it seems. It ain't always what it is. It ain't always what it could be. Younger than the kid of Woody. Now I'm running around the city, in the door, to the nearest phone. It's the continental hello. I'm a need a rental when I land in San Francisco. Got a pencil, jot it down. I'ma get some info about it, whatever you show. Make sure you shut it down when you fight, when you live it. If you write it down, send it. I'ma need to write it like Winona when I get up in it. If I'm in there, no, he looking like a centerfold. Looking with these touches cold. I'm gonna have to start the pose. Looking for a jazz fashion. You get in my soul, what she got? Have a dog, probably chairman in the pro. Looking in my soul, what she got? Have a dog, let's get back to Cool. If you can take a chance and take a try, take a look at I, take a look at me. I don't know about all that, I don't know. All I know is that I gotta go, I gotta get it, Hail Mary, jail buried, almost so very, yeah, it's little scary. A lot of niggas ain't a cemetery or obituary, ain't no record. So for the record, if you take a look at me, see, I am just a man, a human being, nothing more like nothing more. It's where my niggas come home. The women, the getters, niggas, the niggas got me dog. I'm on the ass, hit the jack, I'm just not a bomb. If the cop pass, I'm a gas and that grown. That grown, that grown, but in my cigarette out, and it never best out. Stepped on a few forms and a few chores, I'ma do more, little more, let me clarify. I'm a lot for the bills and bushwick, and I do smoke push and flat bus. At the top of the class, I sit, and I never been afraid of a textbook. Let's look at a nigga shaking the tray. Top five and ace man birthplace. Hey, 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 hey. Yeah.